have to do that you have to observe this picture, and then you have to tell me that what are the different things that you can observe. Like what is there in the picture? What is one particular thing that you can see? Right, there is a tree, and can you just there is a tree. It is having full of leaves. No. If you talk about the left hand side, it is not having proper leaves, right? Yes, it is not having proper leaves. We can see that the branches, the leaves have shed from the branches of the tree, right? And the weather, or we can say the season, is of winters, right? Because we can see the frost, right? And if we compare it to the right hand side, what are the things that you can contrast? We can see birds are there. We can see sunlight is coming, that is falling on the trees and leaves basically. Okay, and the leaves are seeming to be yellowish color just because of that sunlight. And if we see, there is a green grass spread all over the land, right? So we can say that one particular tree is being used to describe two different seasons. Yes. So when we try to show two different things in one particular picture, that is known as just juxtaposition. Right, class? That is known as juxtaposition. So juxtaposition is just a literary devices that is used to tell, or we can say represent, two different things into one particular image. Right? Okay, now class, you have to listen it very carefully. I will be playing this video for you. I hope that will be audible to you. What you have to do, you have to just close your eyes. You have to listen it. You have to listen this particular voice, and you have to identify like this voices of which animal, like which animal is producing this sound or which insect is producing this sound. I'm just giving you one hint. Okay. Yes, class. Now you have to identify this one. Is it different from the previous one? Yes, it is different from the previous one. Right. So yes, class. Can you identify these two animals? Okay, open your eyes and see what you can see, what you can observe. It's a green color animal, right? And green color animal living on the grass is grasshopper. Very good. So this one is grasshopper, and the one listening to we were listening to earlier was cricket. So yes, so our topic for today is on the grasshopper and the cricket. Right, class? So now, class, there is a very interesting activity in front of you. What you have to do, that you have to tell me who is this person. Right, he's John Cena, and he belongs to which field, class? Very good. He belongs to wrestling. So same way we will be studying about John Keats, who belongs to this poetry, or we can say literature field, right? So John Keats was born on 31st October 1795, and he died on 23rd February 1821. He was an English romantic lyric poet whose verse is also known as vivid imagery. Like he has that sense, or he can make you picture out the things that he is talking about. Like if I say you, class, the sun is shining brightly on you. Okay, so you can imagine that sun rays are falling on you, right? So same way he also used that kind of imagery in his poems, so that he can make the people experience what he is writing, right? So grasshopper and cricket is a nature kind of poem. Okay, yes, class. Now there is a very interesting question in front of you. Like, what are the other sounds that are associated with sound of nature? If you can list some of them. Like, I will first tell you my things like how I identify nature is one of the beautiful sound of the nature is rain. Like when it rains, it's kind of a meditation for certain people. For certain, it is a noise. If I talk about myself, I really find the sound of rain very beautiful. So same way you have to come up with different sounds that you can see and you can write in the chat box, right? So I'm giving you the time 1 minute. Think about them and write down. Like let me give you one more example. One of the example would be striking of the leaves of the tree when wind blows. The leaves strike with each other and it also produces this kind of a sound, right class? So this is also the sound of nature. Waterfall, that is also the sound of nature. Very good class. So you have to come up with the different sounds. And now this is your evaluation time. Let us see that what you have understood till now. So you have to tell me John Keats was born on, right, he was born on 31st October. Very good class. So you have to write this in the chat box. Now you have to tell me whether this statement is true or false. The title of the poem is Grasshopper and Butterfly. What are the 2 and 6 that we are talking about? That is grasshopper and this class, grasshopper and very good cricket, on the grasshopper and the cricket. Very good class. So let us start with the beautiful poem that we have. So I will be reciting it first. You will be seeing how I am reciting it, as well as you will be underlining or you will be writing in the chat box, the comment box, that what are the different literary devices that have been used over here. Right, class? Okay. The poetry of earth is never dead. When the all birds are faint with the hot sun and hide in the cooling trees, a voice will run. From hedge to hedge about the new mown mead, that's the grasshopper's, he takes the lead. In the summer luxury, has he has never done, with his delights for when tired out of the with fun. He rests at ease beneath some pleasant weed. The poetry of earth is ceasing never. On a lone winter evening, when the frost has wrought a silence, from the stone there shrills the cricket song in the warmth increasing ever. And there seems to be one in drowsiness half lost, the grasshoppers among some grassy hills. Right, class? So this is basically a poem. So now you might have identified. If you want, you are having like 30 seconds more. So you can identify the different literary devices that have been used in this poem. One by one, you can write in the chat box, in the comment box. Okay. So yes, what are the different literary devices? Right, there's personification. The voice will run. Very good. There many times this particular device have been used. Right, wrought a silence. Very good. Very good. Yes, the poetry of earth is never dead. Right, very good. And is there any other device that have been used? Yes, there is repetition. The poetry of earth has been repeated. The word the has been repeated again and again. Yes, very good. There is a rhythmic device class. Is there any rhythmic pattern? Rhyming scheme? Yes, there is a rhyming scheme. So you have to identify the rhyming scheme and you have to write in the chat box. Very good class. So now this is a very interesting activity for you class. So what you have to do that you have it will basically test your vocabulary that how much new words you can make from one particular letter. Like if I have C, so I can make cat, chocolate, kettle, courier. So the same way you can create many words from one particular letter. Same way what you have to do class, you have to create letters from R, I, C, K, E, T. Okay, so these are the different letters from which you have to create the words of the vocabulary. Right class? So I am giving you the time. You can create your vocabulary till that time. Yes. Create from R. R. It could be rocket, racket. Okay. Then from R it could be red. I it could be ice cream, ice. Then from I it could be island. Right. So same way you have to do the other also, other letters also. Okay. Yes. Plus now there is something that you will be like finding very intriguing. Okay, so what you have to do is that you have to use this word and then you have to personify it. Okay, like trees. For example, if I give you the example, trees are running, trees are singing, trees are dancing. So basically I am giving human like attribute to the tree, so that is personifying the trees, right? And if I have to create it into simile, so it will become the trees, like my father is like a tree. So like is basically used to compare between tree and show a comparison between tree and father, right? Very good, class. So same way you will be making for the grasshopper in summer. Okay, so now class, you will be reciting this beautiful poem, and while you are reciting we will be discussing the important words, the explanation of it, right class? So first stanza. Okay, yes Manpreet, you go ahead. The poetry of earth is never dead. When all the birds are faint with the hot sun and hide in the cooling trees, a voice will run from hedge to hedge about the new mown mead. That's the grasshopper, he takes the lead. In the summer luxury, he has never done with his delights, for when tired out with fun, he rests at ease beneath some pleasant wheat. Good Manpreet, but you can sing it like recite it with more, like using that rhythm, right? So you can sing, the poetry of earth is never dead. When all the birds are faint with the hot sun and hide in the cooling trees, a voice will run from hedge to hedge about a new mound made. So like some use some rhythm in it, okay, while reciting it. Very good. So what are the new words that you have explored from the stanza? Right class. So I am giving you, you have to tell me what are the different words. Okay, faint is the word, then there is hedge is the word, very good. Then there is need, there are luxury, there are delight, there are weed. Okay, okay. So starting with the first one, that is hedge. Okay, so hedge basically is this fence, this boundary that has been created with grass. Okay, so the first picture represents the hedge. Now I am more sure that you are clear with what hedge is. That is, it's a kind of a fence made up of grass. Next one we have is mead. Okay, so mead is the machine that is used to cut the grass, like to maintain the grass. Gardeners are generally using this. So that's mead. Next one is that luxury. Okay, yes, class. When I say that you are sitting in a room there where you have proper AC is there, there is a recliner chair. You understand recliner, the rocking one chair, okay, and you have a LCD TV in front of you. There is a complete kitchen, I would say bar and kitchen around the corner of that room, okay, where you can take every kind of snacks that you want, okay, any kind of drink that you want. So when you're living in that particular room, so we will be saying that you are living with lot of facilities. And when a person is having all kind of facilities, so that particular term is known as luxury. Okay, so when you're living in a very big house, you're having all kind of facilities, you're having good financial resources, so then that becomes your luxury, like you're living a luxurious life. Okay, luxurious life, right? Next one is delight. Delight is a kind of a happy feeling. When you meet someone, there is a kind of a happy feeling, no? When you meet someone you know and you love, you have affection for them. So when you see them, so you get delighted. You feel delighted, right? That's the delight. Next one is weed. So weed are the kind of unwanted plants. Right class, no one has asked me about seeds. Yes class? Okay, that will come in the next paragraph. So we will be discussing in the next paragraph. Okay, yes. Yes, Shubhrit, you read it. The poetry of earth is ceasing never, on a lone winter evening when the frost has wrought a silence. From the stones there shrills the cricket song in the warmth increasing ever, and seems to one in the drowsiness half lost, the grasshoppers among some grassy hills. Good. Okay, yes. So we will be discussing the both stanzas together. We are just like right now exploring the words. Okay. So in here, first word is sees. So can you see this third picture? What she's trying to do? She's trying to Very good. She is trying to stop you, right? So when someone tries to stop you, or I would say the act of stopping someone is to cease. Have you seen that some industries, uh, there is a big lock on the gate, and there is a kind of a stamp also on it, and they said that they have seized this particular industry or factory. So seized basically that this industry will be no longer working. They have stopped them from working, right? So that's seized. Next is rot in silence. Rot basically means, rot here basically means to be in that thing, right? And you cannot listen any of the thing when there is kind of a pin drop silence is there, right? So, but it is saying that we will be discussing later on, but right now we are just focusing on the words, okay? So next word that you have is drowsiness. Okay, yes, plus when you feel uh, when you feel like you are going into that zone of sleep, but you're still not sleeping, like not, you're not actively sleeping, but your head is getting heavy, you're kind of feeling that your eyes are getting closed. So that particular situation or that particular state is known as drowsiness, right class? Very good class. So now before we go towards the message, before that we need to get the meaning out of it, like what do have we understand from this particular stanzas, right? So in the first stanza, firstly you have to come up with your explanation, then I will be explaining it. Okay, I'm giving you the time, you explain it. Yes, right. Very good. Yes, so something is taking place of something else, right? And what is happening in the second stanza? Yes, it is basically distinguishing between the different weathers. Very good. Not weathers, seasons, right? Yes, yes. Right. So basically, this particular poem is talking about nature. It is very much associated with how nature works, right? So if we see in the first line that the poetry of earth is never dead, like there is a kind of a rhythm in the earth and it never dies. It keeps on moving again and again and again, right? It is saying that in case the birds are not chirping, they are not singing because of the hot, scorching heat. Okay, sun is very not at all grateful on them. Okay, so in that case, what will take the place? Trees. Trees will be singing. Trees will be kind of producing some sound. So if you see that there is a kind of a balance, like if birds are not active, then trees will be active, but there will be a sound from the nature that can be heard, right? And if it is saying that the from hedge to hedge, from every hedges, every fences, you can listen to the grasshopper. Grasshopper is basically an insect that is here in the poem enjoying all kind of luxuries. It is also known as summer animal. It is all like it can be seen in only summers. Okay, so it is talking that grasshopper is taking the lead. It is coming out. It is having certain kind of fun of that summers. Okay, and where does he rest? He rests under that pleasant weed. Pleasant weed is basically the unwanted plants that grow along with the plants. Okay, along with the, we can say, the seeds. There is a kind of a weed. Okay, so weed certainly stops the growth of the plant. So we need to remove it. Okay, so where does he rest? He rests beneath those weeds. And if I talk about the second stanza, it basically talks about that. Again, it is saying that in summers the grasshopper is taking the lead, but when it comes to the winters, then cricket is giving us that warmth, that love, that affection. So you can clearly see that every season has a particular insect that is coming out, that is enjoying, that is basically providing the relaxation, that warmth, love to the people, right? If talk about the summers, then it is grasshopper, and if I talk about the winters, then it is cricket, right? So now if I talk about the overall message, So the overall message given by the poet is that Earth is kind of having a rhythm. It is having some kind of continuous process. Season changes, but its rhythm does not changes. It has certain kind of sound, and this sound keeps on going. It's a continuous kind of process. Things can replace, can be changed, but the sound will be the same, right? It is saying that the sound produced by the grasshopper has been compared with the sound produced by the cricket, but it both have their own beauty. And overall message is that Earth will be always be moving. It will be always producing sounds. It will be having new seasons, but the sound will remain the same. There will be someone that will be creating the sound out of it, right? So now you have to answer me that which insect breaks the silence of winter? Very good, that's cricket. Dash is the literary device that is used to compare two things with contrasting effects. If you remember the first picture, then you will be remembering what's the answer of it. Okay, so let's recapitulate class. We have done that. Who is the poet? Very good. John Keats is the poet, and we have studied about the on the grasshopper and the cricket. We talked about two different seasons, that is summer and winter. Both have their own characteristics. In summer, we see that the birds are not able to sing because of that scorching heat from the sun. But in the place of the birds, the grasshopper is taking the lead. That the grasshopper is singing. In the winters, when everything is silent, the cricket is producing some kind of sound and like enjoying or creating a sense of warmth for the people, that people can enjoy that particular season also. Okay, dash symbolizes winter season, cricket symbolizes different seasons. So symbolization is also being used. Okay, symbolic element is also being used. Right. So rhythmic, you have to write the rhyming scheme in the chat box class, and this is your homework. You can take a screenshot of it also, and you have to prepare basically a chart on the sound of nature. Right. Yes, I am giving you 10 seconds. You can take a screenshot of it. Thank you so much, class. You can write your doubts in the chat box. Thank you so much.